Yo, what's good? It's your boy, Whispy Theories. And today's video, you guys, is episode 2 of our Q&A. And once again, this Q&A series is just to recap a lot of not only the things that we've been learning throughout the mystery, but it's an ask and answer all series where just I'll answer anything that you guys ask me, whether personal or impersonal, gaming or science fiction or real life, anything. And we're gonna start today's Q&A with a few questions asked by one of my good subscribers on Twitter, and he actually gave me a few questions to ask. And mind you, if you do not feel inclined to listen to the personal aspects of these questions, then you can just fast forward the video to a lot of the Chiliad based questions, which are toward the middle of the video and on. I didn't want I kind of wanted to put a lot of that towards the end. That way you can just skip a lot of this if you wanted to. So that being said, I'm going to read off the first few questions, which is one, are you into politics? Am I into politics? Honestly, bro, no. I mean, I'm just not that into it as far as my life is going right now. I mean, there's a lot of other things in my life that I'm into as far as what I want to do, than just what's going on in the world, in politics. I understand that it has a big impact on people's lives, and it has a big impact on all of our lives, especially when people get involved and whatnot. And I'm a firm believer in unity and people coming together, and I feel as though there's a proper way of politics being handled, I guess, under a certain order. And no, I'm not saying the New World Order or anything like that, but I feel as though structure is not a bad thing, but I believe the way society is going about it right now, no one is to say whether or not politics or any of that is a good thing. Who are we to say? Everything is a duality at this point. But I'm going to go to question 2. And it is, have you ever fought someone? Yeah, I done beat the shit out of a few people, but that's not to boast anything. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of you have won fights. I mean, that's neither here nor there, bro. I mean, like, I done beat that. Like, what the fuck? Like, everybody probably done won and lost a fight in their life. Like, I done lost a few too on some real shit. I mean, I don't spit nothing but the truth here, bro. Like, and that's one thing I do want to bring up too, is that a lot of people I feel as though are confused about my channel. If you are coming here looking for a jetpack tutorial, once again, this is not that channel, okay? I provide truth here, whether gaming, whether anything, okay? But do know that a big portion of my research and my material is going to be based on the mystery that is set forth, that we're all just kind of striving to to solve. It's not, I mean, my thing is that I understand you guys, okay? Because I was just like you guys, staying up all fucking night trying to find shit, and just being like, well, fuck this shit. Like, I understand that. So I'm bringing that same amount of fucking energy to what needs to be recognized in the mystery, okay? And that's just, I'm using truth to show that. Alright, I'm not trying to fucking show some troll video of what I think is going to be with the jetpack. I mean, yes, there are a lot of things that I think in the mystery, okay? But once again, philosophers thought too, and thinking is a big part of learning. So I'm gonna move on to the questions, and question 3 is, will I ever show my face? Honestly, I never really thought about it, but I think one people haven't thought about is symbolism through my videos. One of these days I'm going to go through a lot of the Easter eggs I've planted throughout my channel, And yes, I've planted a lot of Easter eggs throughout my channel, if you haven't noticed. And I'm not just talking about my wordplay. There are other things, and it was to show you guys that symbolism can be hidden in front of your eyes for months, and you will never realize it until someone really shows you that learning is the key. And that's what I'm trying to show you, okay? That's all. Now, one thing I want to bring to light is the fact that I always show my hands, okay? And I need you to understand this is symbolism for help, which is one reason why I emphasize the word help a lot. And it is a helping hand, okay? Subtle things like this are what I mean within wordplay, okay? And all I have been trying to do is help, okay? So aside from that, I'm going to go into your first question, which is my guilty pleasure. Do I even have one? Yes, bro. I mean, I think everyone has a guilty pleasure. I think my pleasure in general is music, and no, not cliche things that a black person would be into, like rapping. You know, no, I'm not a rapper. Like, and no, I don't consider myself one. Honestly, I would say that my guiltiest pleasure within my pleasure with it, which is music, is they are it's a music duo named OUTTA, and they make a lot of beats and different, you know, trap mood music, you know, like, and I like mood music, you know, aside from rap. I mean, don't get me wrong, yes, I am black, so I like rap. My favorite rappers right now are the Migos, you know, and honestly, aside from that, like, I just, you know, I really vibe out to a lot of different beats and stuff like that. Like I like a lot of different producers, you know, who make different beats, like A-rap music and, you know, certain things like that. But yeah, guilty pleasure for me would be OUTTA. Like I don't tell a lot of people that I listen to them, but I really like their shit, man. They're dope as fuck to me. Another question that I've been getting on the frequent, and again, the rest of these questions, aside from the Chiliad questions, are questions that have been, you know, asked to me frequently, you know, very frequently. So I'm going to collectively answer the question. From my last video, I gotten asked this a lot, which was, what is my favorite video game? And I think what was interesting about that question that I asked you guys is that none of you really gave me one solid answer, and I think that shows duality within choices. I gave you guys a choice, and you chose several different possibilities, because choosing one, okay, closes a lot of doors, and you know that self-consciously. Okay, and I find the human mind very interesting when you really look at it in that way. Now, aside from that, my favorite game of all time is Devil May Cry. It just is. And one thing I think really is why it is my favorite game is because, you know, a lot of people, you know, understand why God of War is, you know, just a masterpiece game, you know, aside from quick time events and, you know, kind of them being the template for a lot of those aspects being put into an action game and an action platformer. But when it comes to Devil May Cry, I feel as though a lot of those templates that were set in God of War, you know, to make it a masterpiece, were set in Devil May Cry years before its time. This is not to discredit God of War. I love the series, but really I feel as though Devil May Cry was the God of War before God of War. And, you know, I think the subtle aspects of, you know, the Castlevania style, you know, Tomb Raider platform kind of gave, you know, it gave people, you know, the offset to not really buy it or really go into it, which is why it's very underrated, you know. And but the very first Devil May Cry, if you've never played it, I would say just give it a try. It is literally like 20 years ahead of its time. It is a great game. I mean, I don't judge a lot of games aspects on just graphics, you know. I go into depth. I mean, you guys know me, and you know, I probably plan to do some reviews here and there for some of the newer games that are coming to next gen. You know, hopefully they don't all suck. You know, we've been getting some stinkers pretty lately, but yeah, Devil May Cry is definitely one I would love to see, you know, be remade the right way, not DMC. Not saying I wasn't a fan, but Jesus, you guys, like, compared to the first one, that it spit in the face, you guys. I'm sorry, that was a spit in the face. But I digress. Let's get into the next question, which is, what does a flying boat have to do with a jetpack? And this is a question that I've been getting asked a lot, and I'm going to not just sit here and debunk a bunch of shit, but I'm going to just bring subtle fucking clues to why we should have been focusing on boats and the aspect of Noah and the Ark and just biblical things from the very beginning, and just the Trinity. I mean, it has to do with a lot of the things that are in the New Answer book. I mean, even Noah is mentioned in the New Answer book. Seriously, you have to look it up. Now, aside from Noah, I'm going to show you a big connection with boats and Michael. So now we're on the I find as Michael, and we're just gonna go to Life Invader. This is Michael's fucking page, you guys, and this is my point about, like, not looking up shit and not, like, really, you know, like, kind of just seeing things for what they are and not caring enough to, like, go deeper, you know what I mean? And for those of you who get it, I will forever be just enslaved with respect towards you, because you just don't understand the truth you see until you will really see it one day. And I know it sounds very odd and very stupid to you, but so does a lot of the characters in the game that are telling you fucking steps. Now, once again, I'm gonna go to Michael's Life Invader page, and what do you fucking see as his display fucking page? One of his prized possessions, his boat, that he loses in the beginning of the fucking game. And one thing interesting about this boat is that when you do the effect of inversion from the red, what do you get? Okay, look, you get blue. Okay, it's an arc, and they were pointing towards the symbolism of it a long time ago, point blank. Okay, I mean, they would not have you do a whole mission where you're trying to get your boat back if it was not important to Michael, and that's just facts. Now, next question. Okay, so the next question is, it's not necessarily a question, but this was one person in particular who told me to take the cargo bob, pick up the tractor, take it to Fort Zancudo, blow it up with the minigun. Look, I'm not opposing your idea, bro, which is one reason I thumbed it up. It's cool. Like, I think you're just misunderstanding the purpose of what I'm showing here. Okay? I'm showing you guys information so that we can eventually accumulate these steps in the right order. Okay? Shooting in the dark like that is absolutely poisonous to order. Okay? You have to look at this mystery literally, you guys, as glass. Okay? Look at it as a perfect window. But the absolutely first second you introduce a crack into that window, it's not perfect anymore. That's literally how this mystery works. You can literally step one step out of line, and you are in another spectrum of duality. You just have crossed the. That's why you need to. It's like the fucking Matrix, low-key, you guys. Like, you need to just believe and go forth. Like, it's not about dwelling on physicalities, okay? It's not about that shit. It's just not. You need to understand that this is just, it's a virtual world. It's no different. Like, and they're showing you that. It's like literally all there, you guys. Okay? I'm trying to tell you that I'm not gonna do that just yet, okay? Because we don't know that that's the steps. We don't even know if the Fort Zancudo UFO is tied to Michael or not. You're shooting in the dark, bro, and this is what I'm trying to avoid. Shooting in the dark is what had us going in circles. Okay, that's what I'm trying to neglect on. There's just no point in going around and honestly just doing shit we think. I mean, honestly, you guys, I'm not saying that there's absolutely no point. Okay, there is a point to it, and that is to try, and I'm open to that possibility. But you guys, Trippy Commentaries does that. I mean, RJ, my boy, shout out to you, RJ. Straight up, he does that. Okay, so I mean, if you want to check out, you know, the objective rough theories to possibly, you know, I mean, like I say, possibly figure out those things, then he's probably, you know, your best bet for understanding the short term, like, you know, the ideas right then and there. He's the best bet for that, and I need you to understand that's an amazing aspect to have for the mystery, because whereas I'm getting one aspect, he's granting another, so that we can get the full spectrum and understand things. Okay, but me doing the exact same thing is not going to solve anything. It's going to be redundant. Okay, so I need you to understand, we need to figure out a deeper way to this. Oh, and one that kind of not necessarily debunks this, but kind of puts an end to this, is that you can't cargo bob the tractor. It doesn't work. But next question. Next question was from a subscriber by the name of Jesmine Games, and it wasn't really a question. It was just a statement. He stated that my Soviet theory, or the connection between Soviets, was a bridge too far, I guess, or I'm guessing you're saying that it was a stretch within, you know, the theory. Now, one, yes, it was a theory. Two, it was not the only theory I had connecting GTA 5 to GTA 2. That was the smallest actual theory I had. Okay, the biggest theory I had was not only they deliberately put the logo on the back of the box, but a lot of the games foretelling in 2 show up in 5. So how that's prophetic, I don't understand, even though they have time and time, quote unquote, lied and said that their universes don't connect. But they've already contradicted themselves by adding Claude as a parent option, meaning he's somewhere connected. Now, understand, making it a stretch too far, as you say, or whatever. I really don't feel as though that is relevant to anything, because, I mean, if that's taking it too far, why didn't you bring up anything else I brought up? Because the fact of the matter is that if all of that fits, then I'm pretty sure that's a lively connection. There's no mention of Russians being relevant in the game of GTA 5, except that part. And then they have mention of Russians to GTA 1 as Soviets. Okay? But yet GTA 1 does not have Russians in there, just like 5. It's no different. Because they are most likely, like I said, set in the same fucking place and connected. Now, down to my last few questions. Do I feel as though North Yankton is connected to how the cutscenes work with the bunker? Now, I've gotten this told to me in several different fashions, but that was probably the closest to a question I can put it that someone asked me. The fact of the matter is that I don't even think I need to show it. You can go look it up for yourself. North Yankton is somewhere in the sky, literally. Like, the coding of the game has put it somewhere, the whole level, in the sky. And you can look up this little tweak where people were flying up there, and you can go out there, and my biggest point to this, though, is that it's solid when you're actually there. It's solid. Just like when I showed in the Cluckenbell factory. But when you're below it, alright, at a certain distance, it's invisible. Just like the Cluckenbell factory. So it reacts the exact same way. If there's something under that bunker, we most likely would have saw it. And if not saw it, then we would have ran into something invisible. And there's nothing under that bunker as far as that goes. So, I'm not saying that there's nothing relevant with the elevator in general, but I'm saying that that minus next to a 1 does not necessarily indicate a sub level. Alright? Because they've shown in the game that it indicates what level you're at. Okay? Now, this is my last question, and this was more or less of a request that, and this is just to show you guys that, I care. I don't like glitching, alright? I did it for a year last year when I was like on my physical bullshit trying to solve the mystery and glitching all day and got nothing. Now I'm gonna show you, and maybe one day I'll show you a lot of the interesting things that I found when I glitch, because I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. Like I've glitched into a lot of places that I've never really been glitched into on YouTube, but did I find anything like a jetpack? No. But did I find interesting things? Somewhat, yeah. But one person in particular, he asked me to glitch into the Epsilon mansion, and I thought for a second, well, fuck it, I already did. So I'll just show a glimpse of what's interesting about it, and just for a second discuss why I feel as though it might be interesting or it might be not interesting. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna just give you a little glimpse of this glitching bullshit, but I will I will show you this only you guys, because I personally think that it was interesting the day I found it, and I want you to answer me in the comments, because personally I don't remember, nor did I ever see. Was there ever a point in time when we went inside this building, and if there was, did they ever show the inside? Okay? Because I don't remember them ever showing the door being opened and you looking on the inside. Now, here's my biggest point. When they make interiors, it's usually possibly for cutscenes or possibly for things that are going to load. Like if you go to Mark Madrazo's house, okay, the interior is somewhat done, okay, because of the cutscene. All right. Now, if you still go there, it's still there. Now, I'm wondering, because personally I don't remember them ever showing an inside to the Epsilon mansion, but as you see, this is the Epsilon mansion, and I go in and out of this motherfucker for a minute, but I finally get in this bitch, and look at that. Get a little closer look. That's an interior, for sure. Have I gotten inside? No. Personally, no. I never got inside. I got real close to looking inside. The closest I could get, personally, was right about here. And these are the doors of the Epsilon Mansion. Okay. As you see, this is a full fucking interior. And I don't remember ever, honestly, going inside of none of that shit. So I don't understand why they would even have this here. I mean, it could be nothing. Could be something that loads later on. Could be an object inside. Maybe not. I mean, don't hate me for this either if you don't think it's shit. Personally, I didn't either, and this is why I never showed you guys. But you asked, so here it is. Let me know if you guys honestly want to see more of certain places on the inside, and if it is interesting, then I might check it out. But again, you guys, I'm not into glitching, nor am I condoning it to solve the mystery, nor is it any part of my mystery solving process. So understand that, okay? I'm not I'm not gonna sit here and honestly, like, you know, bullshit with you guys all day and give you fucking, you know, the same shit you've been, you know, getting all fucking year with just glitching into places and seeing nothing and seeing the inside of the elevator a million times and all that shit. I don't want to keep doing stuff like that at all. Okay, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna dwell on too many of the same aspects. We're gonna circle them back when they actually make relevance, and we're going to actually make more connections until they grow stronger for us to, you know, grant a step. Now, aside from that, Whispy Theories episode 6 will be coming this Friday. Hopefully, I can get it in sometime before late Friday. A big reason why it takes me a while is because you guys understand, you know, the length of my videos, and it's not just because of me talking, but it the length of my theory videos, as you see, are purely based on certain connections that I'm making and how I have to explain them, because not everyone learns on the same process. Okay, so you have to bear with me on why the videos are so long. If it really didn't take this long, then, you know, we would have, you know, found out a long time ago a lot of the connections. You know, it takes a while to understand this mystery because it's a lot deeper than they ever thought we would go. But with that said, I hope you enjoyed, and just let me know any type of questions that you have for the next Q&A in the comments, and possibly my messages, or even follow me on Twitter, and, you know, anything that you have to add about the mystery or any questions, and, you know, hopefully I can answer them, or hopefully we can come to a conclusion together. Spread the truth.